Been a while since I made a trip report video on this channel, so I thought I might tell you guys what I've been up to in terms of my experimentation. So I've just been using DMT for the most part. So I've had mostly smoke trips, but I've also had recently one oral DMT experience. So I'll talk about the first smoke DMT trip. And this was actually pretty interesting because it only took 16 milligrams to break through, which it seems it's been taking less and less now because I seem to be more sensitive or better able to break through for whatever reason. And with this one, it started as usual. Like I would get, right when I smoked it in the bong, I would get like this grainy vision, and then it would quickly sort of evolve into patterning, and then it would just open up into this circus-like room dimension thing that's all warping, and it's hard to really explain. I try to draw it to get a bit more of an idea of what it's trying to represent. So my main goal when I go into this is I'm trying to get as much visual information as I can. So I'm trying to like take a mental snapshot of what I'm seeing, and then hopefully when I come out I can remember. But the problem is that like the detail is so in your face a lot of the time. I find it very difficult to latch on to like large areas of what I'm seeing, but a lot of the times I can pick out just characters or like specific entities of some sort. Fortunately, this time I wasn't able to remember too much because I was going a little bit too deep, and I started to think that like I wasn't coming back for whatever reason, so there was no point trying to remember what I was seeing. So I only really, when I came out of it, the only thing I really remembered was one clownish type tube entity that was sort of spinning on the wall in this weird circus room. And so I drew that, and then I showed it on Shroomery. I made a thread about this originally. So this was like actually a few months ago that I made this thread, and lately I've been getting people always saying that they, you know, the place, because when I draw my work, I can sort of have a visual aid to what I'm trying to explain. So a lot of the times I get people saying, hey, that's the exact same place that I go to, and I literally have a few people saying this is what they wrote. One guy said the description and images are very similar to his, and the other guy said that that's exactly the place where smoke DMT leads me. Colorful spinning circus-like rompus room. So I think that's pretty neat because like that's what's so unique about what I've been experiencing and what I've been trying to create, is that I get a lot of people that are saying that they've gone to the same place. So it's more meaningful to me, I think, because you know, not a lot of the times you get that kind of connection to something that you're exploring, I guess. And so I'll talk about the other experience recently that I had. This was oral DMT, so it was at 200 milligrams of somewhat impure, like I don't know how impure it was because like it was mostly crystals that got dyed with like plant fats or oils, so the oils might have been active as well. I don't really or sorry, the oils are definitely active as well, but I don't know if it's as potent as the actual crystal stuff. But it was mostly crystal, it was just dyed. And I took 4 grams of Syrian rue as the MAOI. And how this one went down is pretty similar to my other experiences. Like it comes in waves, so when it's usually 3 or 4 waves, and the waves are completely, you know, very steep. So when the wave is up, like your vision will be overlaying with patterning, and your balance is also going to be affected. Like it seems to be that the MAOI causes the balance to feel affected, so you kind of feel like, you know, some sort of pressure is pushing down in a specific direction. So when the wave comes back down, then you feel not sober, but like completely, you know, down. Every time the wave would come back, it would bring me closer to psychedelia. So by the time it hit its peak, like I was seeing the clown from the new movie It. So like that's kind of a manifestation that is really interesting to me because a lot of movies that I think are very novel in their style and aesthetic seems to show up in my trip if it's clown related. So I think like the Joker would show up a lot because that's a really novel, interesting one, and I think the clown from Poltergeist as well. And it's just funny that It from Stephen King, the new one, now shows up. Because I actually read a trip report with Pharmawaska where some guy was talking about Pennywise as well. But it was like Pennywise mixed with like geometric patterning, like and the demonic Pennywise that you see on the screen, the sharp teeth and everything. But like I guess I didn't really find it that scary to me because like I felt like I was becoming the clown for some reasons. You know, obviously I guess it might have been considered like the shadow side of the jester entity or like the dark side of it because it was definitely like a scary depiction of it, but like I guess since I'm really interested in aesthetics and beauty of things, like I look past the scariness of it and then just admire like how really artistic it looks. And I think that that's what makes, you know, me able to go pretty deep is because I don't really get personally affected by scary looking manifestations like that, but it's really interesting that they come about. Anyways, that's pretty much all I wanted to share. I thought that those were interesting experiences that I remembered, so